remember my words, and maybe we will be doing podcasts after 3 years in the same model, is services export will overtake product export in 3 years. From India, maybe 2 years. That will be the game changer. Because Indian economy is more service-oriented beneficiary. It will be benefited.
Do you think that Indian export is up to the mark? Given the context of it just started in 1991 and things like that? Or if there is issues, like if you think that it's not up to the level it could have been, what are some, infrastructural issues or bureaucratic issues or regulatory issues which you have come across, which have, stopped this?
See, let me give you some statistics. Today, if you see, the world economy is $112 trillion.
Okay.
Out of this, $27 trillion is American economy.
Okay.
$19 trillion is Chinese economy.
Right.
All of Europe put together is $19 trillion. All of Europe. India is $4 trillion. We just crossed $4 trillion. 2021, India's exports were $440 billion.
Okay.
21-22, $560 billion. 22-23, $670 billion.
Okay.
This year, 23-24, we are targeting $750 billion. $440 billion to $750 in 4 years is amazing.
Wow. Okay.
It's amazing.
That's almost, you'll double within 4 years.
Double.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Right.
And mind you, these last 3 years were pandemic years.
Yeah, right.
And still the growth. Why? So there is a China plus one approach which the developed economies have taken. That's an alternate to China as a supply source. Why? Because in pandemic, supply chains were disturbed.
Right.
And now also because of the, all this Gaza war and attacks on the Red Sea, it is being disturbed. And there is also another aspect which very few people have spoken or discussed about. It's called Europe plus one.
Okay.
Because of Ukraine war. Okay. Again, supply chains have disturbed. So a lot of European companies are also targeting that we should source from other than China. But now let me give you the statistics of China.
Okay.
While I told you that India's export is $670 billion last year, China's export was $3,500 billion.
Wow.
Out of that, $528 billion was only to US. And year upon year, this has been the status.
Okay.
US is one of the largest importers from China. And India's export to US is around 90 billion or 100 billion. 528 billion. Only China's export to US. But in total, 3,500 billion compared to our 670 billion. No country in the world, I have done the research, can become a developed country without high exports. There is no evidence. Right? Our Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, is doing amazing work, unbelievable. Has given a target to business community that India should become $5 trillion economy by 2025. Right? And India should become a developed country by 2047 when we will complete 100 years of independence. We cannot become developed economy without high export. So overall, and who is going to export? It is companies in India.
It's going to be business people only.
We.
Yeah. Aap hum.
Right. And let me now tell you a very interesting aspect. Right now, product export is more than service export.
That is a shocking thing.
Yes, but remember my words. And maybe we will be doing podcasts after 3 years in the same model. Is services export will overtake product export in 3 years. From India, maybe 2 years. That will be the game changer. Because Indian economy is more service-oriented beneficiary. It will be benefited compared to China. China is more merchandise, product-based, because it's a manufacturing success. It's a success of infrastructure. In services, infrastructure, because there is no movement of goods.
Right.
So that is in a very beneficial position. But But now I come on the regulatory part, right? So I feel the government of India needs to put more focus on marketing effort now for Indian companies. The marketing effort support from government of India is little lacking. See, compared to China, even I will use that word. So,
can you give an example just for our audience to understand?
So for example, I'll tell you, when Chinese companies started entering American market, what model they used is very simple. There are two models. Either you do your communication, you find out a high intent buyer, and then you try to get an order, then you produce it. It will take 1 month to produce. It will take 1-2 months to get a business, then 1 month to produce, then 1.5 months to ship. It's a 4-5-6 month cycle. They broke the cycle. The government took the initiative. They hired some warehouses in US or Europe, and they offered it to the Chinese companies that you stock there and make the goods readily available. Next day delivery, no 45 days. And you come quality, because those days, early days, China had a quality problem.
Right.
So people were scared that I'll order, what will come, we don't know. And same situation was with India. So they said, okay, that is also solved. Come to my warehouse, see goods, you like, you buy, don't like, don't buy. Quality issue solved. And payment rotation also becomes fast. They don't have to open LC. They will give a local payment. There is a mechanism of payment of one-way bank account. So they became extremely successful in initial stage through warehouse. Now that is what Indian government has to do. We should have physical presence, give it to industry. They charge, we are building roads, but we are charging toll, no? Government is building roads.
But they're charging it.
But we are ready to pay because we reach fast, it is safe.
Yeah.
Comfortable. There are restaurants. It is organized. No cow will come in between. Right?
Yeah.
So it is safe. So I drive fast and I reach.
Yeah.
Fast means within limits.
Yeah.
Same thing. Open and give it. Yeah. Charge something initially. Give some subsidy. But then charge a fee. Your businessman will be ready. That's one example of marketing push. There are many such things which can be.
Right. So yeah, from a regulatory perspective, you think that marketing push as a country is lacking even today? Like marketing, not just in terms of the content, but also this infrastructure, which is your warehouses or maybe payment settlements and things like that.
Yes, and you say one more psychological aspect in India is subsidy. The word subsidy. Because we were living in a license Raj. So we are very used to, people ask me often, oh, I want to do something like this, how much is subsidy? I said, this should not be your first question.
Yeah, right.
I say your first question should be, what is the market?
Right.
I said, subsidy is very good, but there is no market. Why you want to set up such a business?
Yeah, because we are looking at loopholes and scamming.
Right. We are still into, so we have to get out of it. And the younger generation is very, very good. I am very impressed. That is why I connect to younger generation more. They don't talk of subsidy. They talk of markets, they talk of,
product solutions, problems. Yeah.
They are least bothered. Even so many times I have come across youngsters, I am mentoring, and we have covered many things. Then when I come to subsidy, they say, no, it's okay.
You are someone who believes that rather than subsidy, put it up in infrastructure and enable a business person than just giving a direct subsidy.
Absolutely. And that is why I say that when government of India should take an initiative to set up these warehouses or even e-commerce platforms abroad and charge a fee.
Yeah.
Charge a fee to the private sector.
Yeah, I think they'll be
Yes, certainly. Why not? If I am paying a fee to Amazon to sell my products,
I don't mind paying to another platform. Yeah.
Why not?